Hello YouTube, I'm Armoury or Tom, and here we are for another My Thoughts On video. So this one is my thoughts on the Amazing Spider-Man 2 trailer just released. So first of all I want to start off with saying I didn't really like Amazing Spider-Man 1. The main reason for this was Lizard was a bit nah. Part of the reason is he didn't look like the Lizard that I know. He didn't even look like a lizard. You know, he had a flat nose, no snout. He didn't have the lab coat, which, did he? I can't remember. But I didn't like, this is important, the fact that Connors wasn't Peter's high school physics teacher. Instead he worked for Oscorp. And I didn't like the fact that Oscorp had this massive focus, and that Oscorp was the point of everything. Because I thought Connors had a more interesting backstory than the Oscorp one. I quite like the idea that he was doing it fully of his own volition, with no help, and that he could gain the materials and stuff himself. And this kind of put me off of the next one. I wasn't really looking forward to Amazing Spider-Man 2. But then the trailer released, and I watched it. There's no harm in watching a 3-minute video, so I did. And yeah, my mind's changed. I'm now very much looking forward to that to that film. Now, I'll go through them sort of in the order they are in the video. First of all, the classic suit. Now, you probably did notice, but in the first film he had tiny little yellow eyes, and he had like the blue on those two fingers and wrapped around his hand and stuff, and the suit just looked a bit off. The new one has big white eyes, and the suit looks proper. There's really bold web lining on it, and it's a full red glove to there, and then it's blue, and then it's red again, and it's a perfect Spider-Man suit. There's nothing wrong with it at all. I love the suit, and that's the first reason. Second, Spidey's movement. The way they've animated him to move through, like especially in the Electro scene, the Electro fight near the end of the trailer, but also at the start, the rippling the suit as he's free falling. The movement looks amazing and much better than it did in the Raimi trilogy. Spider-Man 3 kind of got Spidey's movement alright, I think. The Sandman fight with the black suit was really cool. And Spider-Man 2 was nah. Spider-Man 1 Spidey's movement was rubbish. But yeah, this one looks amazing in that respect. The music is properly memorable and really works for it, which is something I can't say for Captain America's trailer. I can't remember the music from that. Thor, for Spider-Man. That music is memorable and will always be, which is always a good thing. Now going to the villains. Rhino. They could have done a superhuman in a suit, but I can see why they didn't. I'm not sad about this in any way. I'm not mad at them. But obviously the Rhino I know is this one, who is just a superpower guy in a suit. But I can see why they went for the mech, because obviously Iron Man is doing very well. It's slightly more grounded, even though you've got a superhuman already as your main character. But also I can see it as it's built technology, which goes along with the thing I'll talk about in a minute, as well as the fact that it's more of a foil to Spider-Man. Rather than being another super strength guy like Spider-Man, it's cool to see a different type. The reason why in the Iron Man comics, Iron Man and Mandarin work so well, because they're so different. Iron Man is technology, Mandarin is magic. It's that kind of thing. Foils are always really good in movies and in fiction, because they create conflict, which is always really interesting. Then we have the Green / Hobgoblin. We don't know what he's going to be called. Some kind of goblin. The suit looks really cool because it looks like you'd think, like armoured. but it's got some actuators in it. Looks like it's going to help him. Maybe some flight stabilizers. The glider looks alright, although I do really like the glider from Spider-Man 1, the Raimi Spider-Man 1. I don't think this is going to beat it in my eyes. Although he's got a bit of a weird hair. I'm not too sure how that's going to pan out, but I want to see one with the hood. But we're not going to get that, obviously. He might have one at the end of the film. Apparently they're not going to... Rhino and the Goblin aren't going to be it for very long, but we'll see. This is a bit where it starts getting into a bit deeper into Spider-Man. The secretive parents. The fact that Peter's parents were, in the original, were Cold War spies, I believe. They were sort of double, triple, quadruple agents. They were working for the US, but acting like they were working for one and the other and never. Which is really interesting because obviously if you've seen the animated series, you'll realise there was a whole arc where he went to Russia to find out about his parents. Now, you can properly see why they didn't do this. Because it's not the Cold War. And it's quite a while after. It would make Peter quite a bit older, or a fair amount older than he is now if his parents were in the Cold War and active and he was searching for them at the age that he is. The same reason as Iron Man isn't set in the Vietnam War anymore. You know, he's set in Afghanistan War. Because it's more current, more recent. But they're still secretive. Which I really like because the following, trying to find out why they were so secretive and why he doesn't know anything about them is really interesting to me. Obviously mystery, another big thing, conflict, but mystery. It's getting close. Also, the other thing that is not like the fact that it's not the Cold War is because I won't be able to predict it properly. Which I really like. I like not knowing before I watch a film. So that's another thing. Now we go into the really cool bits. The Sinister Six. There are a few hints throughout this, like the doors. And my favourite bit, the vulture wings and the Doc Ock arms. Sinister Six. Again, if you watch the animated series like I did, the first ever superhero thing I ever watched was a Spider-Man animated series in the 90s. The Sinister Six were a big part of it. Especially Vulture and Doc Ock. And the Doc Ock arms look comic book Doc Ock arms. As much as I absolutely loved Alfred Molina's Doc Ock, I want to see one with the circular arms and the more clawy rather than the flat ones. I want to see some spiky claws and stuff. It's going to be awesome. But news, there's going to be a Sinister Six film coming out of this. Been confirmed. I don't know what's going to happen in that. It'd be cool. What's the ones? There's a comic at the moment called, I think it's Superior Foes of Spider-Man. It's going to be similar to that. It's going to be cool. Hopefully going to be cool. And off of that, actually, this isn't to do with the trailer, but a Venom movie's confirmed, which I'm really looking forward to because we did have this Venom, but we could have this Venom. Or this Venom. Either one of the last two I am happy about, as long as we don't have the Spider-Man 3 Venom. But that's another hill on there. This is the bit that starts getting into the middle ground between pros and cons. Electro. Now he's the main villain of it. That's what we've been told. He looks like the main villain. Apparently the others aren't going to turn up for very long. Now he is part of Sinister Six. And it looks like he's being portrayed really well. I really like. He's given a good voice, and the voice fits, and he looks powerful. And I really like unaided flight. I don't know why, it just looks... I know Stan Lee is a big thing for aided flight, like he likes Iron Man with the boosters and Thor with the hammer, but I like Superman and Electro, and you know, unaided flight just looks so powerful. I don't know why, but it does. Now the thing is, I knew this suit couldn't happen, but was so looking forward to seeing this suit from Spectacular Spider-Man. But yeah, I can sort of see why they didn't. Plus, you know, electricity doesn't go yellow. That's a big thing. It goes blue. But the yellow is quite iconic to me, which is why I would like that suit. But the suit we're getting is based on this suit from Ultimates. And I'm not disappointed about it. I was a bit scared by the look of the original time we saw Electro. He just looked a bit disappointing, but no, he doesn't. He looks awesome. And also the creation process looks really cool as well. And we all love a good origin story, and you can't deny that. Now, the cons. Not many, surprisingly. I know this was only a trailer. We're not even getting to the movie yet. That's May 2nd, I think. Could be wrong. Harry Osborn. This one looks alright. I mean, Dane DeHaan, he hasn't been in much, but he looks okay. But my problem with him, just from the trailer, is he looks too inherently bad. Because Harry isn't. Harry is easily guided into whatever path you want to guide him down. Which is why there's a constant struggle between Norman to guide him down the bad path and Peter down the good path. Which is what I really love about James Franco. I don't think Dane DeHaan is going to beat James Franco as the Harry Osborn that I know, and the quintessential Harry Osborn. Because he was guided down the bad path by his dad, good path by Peter, and somewhere in the middle ground for his own purposes by himself. And it was him learning, and especially when he became the New Goblin, I really liked that. After the whole grenade thing, and he was going to go after Spider-Man, but then he realised, and how that was character development. He changed so much between Spider-Man 1 and 3. This one looks like it does all the changing in Spider-Man 2. Introduced is bad, all in one thing. I hope that's not the case. But the point is, I don't think Dane DeHaan is going to beat James Franco for me, because I think the supporting cast of the Sam Raimi films were really good, although I don't think Tobey Maguire was perfect. The last con for this, I think, is the massive focus on Oscorp. I can see why they did it, though, because it's a conspiracy theories type things. They're popular and they're interesting, and it gives an easy way to give origin stories to loads of people really quickly. But I like the fact that in the Marvel Universe, and actually twice in the DC Universe too, they all have these completely separate origin stories, and then it's their actions that bring them together, not their origins. Like X-Men, yeah? They're all born with what they have. Which is, I know it's the same, but they're not all made in one place. And then through their actions, they are brought together as a team. Whereas like the Sinister Six, they're all made by Oscorp. At least 3 of them are. So it looks like they're going to be put together by Oscorp. Which, I didn't like Oscorp being the bad guy, always. I liked it, again, in the animated series. But Oscorp itself wasn't bad. You know, it's like Stark. The company's not bad. It's just when the technology gets into the wrong hands, it is. Like Armed Wars, technology gets into the wrong hands. For this, when Norman gets hold of the technology his company's creating. I can see why they did it, and I'm pretty sure I still enjoy the film, and I'm pretty sure I still enjoy the aspect, just not as much as if it wasn't there. So, that's my thoughts on this trailer. I will be back soon with something. It might be about a week from now. There will also next weekend be the next episode of the Josh Pod. Hopefully be a bit better than last week's, but things improve as time moves on. So, thank you for watching. I've been Armoury's on, or Tom. I'll see you next time.